Hey guys, how's it going? You know, we got a few people in chat. People are starting to stream in. So, you know, I'll just wait a couple minutes. Try and see if everyone gets here. Attendance, let's see. I don't know why everyone keeps putting attendance in the discussion board. That's not how you get attendance. Not how you get attendance. Stevens. I have a question. Are you doing a live stream as you did last Wednesday? Yep. As you see. Oh, yep, I am at 5. And where? How are we having class today? I'm confused. Why is everyone confused? I sent out an email. Yes, live stream. Okay. Gonna respond. Yes, live stream every Wednesday at 5 p.m. At the same channel, which I will supply. There we go. All right. Did you, by any chance, get your video to work? Since you chimed in, you're like, I'm here. Whoops. Just wondering if you got it to work. Okay. This is not how we do attendance. This is not how we do attendance. Submit. There's a thing on the announcements. On your announcements. You guys asked me to give up the new rules. I did. On the announcements. Why are people still doing it wrong? Okay, so when it... That's fine. You're allowed to be... It's okay. My video, but Wi-Fi isn't working right. I've been trying to upload all day. This isn't how you get attendance. Submit. All right. So are you trying to upload to like YouTube or Vimeo or a website where we can get a link? Because if you're trying to upload to Blackboard, I said in the last live that you probably shouldn't do that because it's not gonna like how big that file is, right? And so if for some reason you've been trying to upload to Blackboard, it's not gonna work. Yes, YouTube. Sorry, your Wi-Fi isn't working. Alright, so let's see, we have 2 people who weren't able to get it up. Okay, got it. 2 of our people like, nah, can't get it. I can upload it for you if you would like. Yes. Would very much like that. Oh, you're saying you could for them, yeah. Yes, no, I would like it. It's okay. Like if there's some issues, that's fine. We just want to be able to do something today, you know what I mean? If you're going to YouTube? Because if it's YouTube, you got to sign up for an account, right? Which you should have so you could see, right? Sign up for an account, And then okay, I'll keep that hidden. I'll keep that hidden for you. Okay. Oh, how do we do that? Okay, I'm sorry. Two different people asking me this stuff. So, go to YouTube. Here, easy. Right? Go to YouTube, and if you're signed in, which you should be because you have a name, right? You then come up here, right here, right? To the little camera, create video, upload video. Then this pops up. Then you can either select a file or you can just drag and drop it. Once you do that, I'll walk you through it. Let's see if I got a video somewhere. Okay. So you drag it, you drop it, right? It does this, and then it'll load. This bar will pop up, and then you can give it a title, description, and that's really all you need to do. And then just hit, next for visibility, next, and you just go next, next, next. It'll publish it, and then this is your link right here. All you have to do is copy that link, and then paste it into the discussion board. Okay? Let's see. Might only have one today. It wasn't even on the list. Were you? Nope. See, wasn't even on the list. It's just the Wi-Fi. It goes in and out. I missed my class this morning because it wouldn't connect. I know. Oh, my bad. My bad. All right. We'll just need to get it up there. Oh. Oh. Okay. So we got 2. Whoop. Oh, there we go. All right, so we'll open this to a new tab. All right, so we got two people. Guess we're gonna have to take Tion on this one because Mr. Lee put his up anyway, so we can get him, right? At least see his. Let's see, and then 2 confirmed people are having issues. So, and I haven't heard from anyone else. I mean, we have 1, so that's 3. 3 out of the 5 people I've had some type of conversation with, and the other 2 just didn't. So that's a problem. I submitted everything 2 days ago. Oh, when I looked this morning, it just had your notes. So, but it's okay. I got it. It loaded up. We're gonna look at it in a minute. I've been trying to upload my video. I'm having trouble with YouTube. I'm having trouble. Okay. What's the issue? What issue you're having? The video hasn't been loading. Maybe once the day dies down, maybe too many people are on now. I don't know when you tried to upload or whatnot. That might be a problem. It might also be the Wi-Fi you currently got. I don't know. But it's okay. Alright, so that's 3. I mean, 3 people that had issues. Cool. it to video and send you the link. Please send it to me. Whatever you want to use. It doesn't have to be YouTube. If you have your own website that you can just give us the web page for, I'm good for that too. And then just in chat, just let me know when Oh. I've been using my phone. I don't have Wi-Fi, so that's probably why. Ooh. Maybe. Portia's saying she can help out loading stuff up to Vimeo. Did anyone hear anything from Sarah? Okay, and for those of you who have checked, there is a under assessment. Put your quiz up there. You're gonna have to download it, fill it out, turn it back. While we're still trying to get our bearings here, one thing that I'm pretty sure you guys have noticed is that, or if I don't know if you haven't checked your email yet, you should, because the school is going to a system-wide pass or fail system. So, as long as you're doing some work. Yes, that's how you have to respond to the people in the thread, right? So people should be asking you questions on your video, and then in order for you to get credit for your video and participation, you need to respond to every question. Okay? But back to the pass-fail thing. So pretty much as long as you try, you can pass. Now, the problem is that if you are hell-bent on your GPA, it depends, okay? So if you're like, oh, well, my GPA is, let's say, a 3.5, and you do the pass-fail, if you get a pass, it does not help or hinder your GPA, okay? So it's just there. But if you're going, man, I really need to get this grade, I need to get a good grade so that it'll raise my GPA, then you have to email me and tell me that you want to stay on the traditional form. Yes, the discussion board. No, send me an email. Don't put it in the chat. I need it in an email because that'll make it official, and I can hold it just in case someone asks about it. The discussion board, as we discussed in the last class, if you go to Blackboard, you come here, right? This is what your Blackboard looks like. Actually, it looks like this when you start, okay? If you scroll down to the green, right, it says discussion board. Click on the discussion board. There's only one forum. Click on the forum. Here are the threads, okay? First time, I was really hoping people were going to respond to me for attendance, but they created their own threads. I'm going to go through, once I mark everyone for attendance, I'm going to go through and I'm going to take it out, right? I'm going to take it out so our boards are a little bit smaller. But what you need to do is create a thread, and that's where you're going to put your presentation, right? Link to your video and any notes you are going to have. And what's going to happen is when you do your presentation, when we watch the presentation, everyone is going to ask you one question, right? It's one question and if they have a comment, there's a minimum of one question, right? You should add a comment, right? That was really good. I really liked how you did this. Here's my question. You have to do a question though. So one question, okay? And that's how you will be marked for attendance, is responding to that person's presentation video, okay? And the way you should really label it would work with your, just say presentation video. It makes it easy, okay? Just go ahead and start a new thread, say presentation video, so that we all know what we're clicking, okay? So that should be easy enough, all right? And then for the presenters, they have to respond in order to get full credit, okay? Okay, so say I only didn't pass-fail one class and I got an A in one class, so I would have a 4.0 for that semester. So you're taking, so say I only didn't pass-fail one class and I got an A in that class. Yeah, that would be, technically, that would be a 4.0, yes. Technically, right? For that semester. Okay? So we watch all the videos as a class, and then later we ask our questions. That is correct. We're going through this since we have a whole fewer people. We're going to still watch the two that we have. Okay? If a third one comes up, then we'll watch that one. But as of right now, we have two, so we have some time to talk about it. Hold, I have a video. Do I send that to you? Okay. Yes, just in case. Okay. That's a scam. I mean, it kind of sucks for people who've been busting their butt the entire semester. It does. But no one expected this situation. We weren't really prepared for the situation. Nobody was. No students, no teachers, no admin. It's just, who expects to have a pandemic happen? And so they're trying to make it so that you guys actually won't be harmed by the situation, right? Now, like I said, you can always opt out of the pass-fail. Most people won't, because they'd much rather take, instead of getting like a C or a D, they'll go, oh well, I'll pass, so that's cool, but it doesn't count towards anything, so they're gonna stay right with their GPA, right? And the 4.0, it's only going to look that way in the semester, right? Because that semester will be like, you made a 4.0 this semester, right? But you only get those points in an overall thing. So if you have 5 classes and you take one and you're like, all right, this is the one I'm going to get because it has an A in it, you're only going to get those credits for that class towards your GPA. So it's only going to go up like point something, right? So it's not really affecting your overall status if you're trying to, as you so, eloquently put it, scam the system. It's literally just going to go, well, here's your A. These other classes don't give you anything. So it really just depends on what you want, right? So yeah, no, it's just for the semester, and it's just for that class, right? So in the end, so let's just say you got, each class gives you a point, right? If you had an A and you only got 1, okay, then you'd only get that 1 point. So then it would be, instead of a 3.5, it'd be a 3.6 or, half. I don't know. I don't know how that breaks down, but it's only that class for that percent. So it's not really, you're not going to shoot up from like, I have a 2.5, I got this one 4.0, bam, now I've got a 3.8. That's just not going to happen, right? It's just one class that gives you that A. What would I do? Well, I have to be honest, I bust my ass in every class, so I'd want my GPA. But in the end, if your GPA is set, here's the thing that you got to ask yourself. If your GPA is set, right, and you're just like, I have a 3.6, 3.8, I really wasn't trying to 3.0, whatever, it's like I wasn't trying to up my GPA. A lot of people who this will affect harshly are people who are on probation, right? Because they're like, oh, well, I needed to get X amount of credits, so I had to get a certain amount of grades in order to stay in school, right? They can't do the pass fail because they won't be getting any credits. But people who are set, like I got a 3.0, 3.58, whatever, or 2.8, and you're just like, I wasn't trying to up my status. I'm cool. Do the pass fail. Doesn't really matter, right? But if you're like, I really am trying to get my grade up, well, you need the grade, not the pass fail. Wait, you said to make sure we give people comments and not just questions, correct? Yes. One question, one comment. One question, one comment. I don't want to only do half the work. One question, one comment. Now, if you are responding, right? So if you're like, oh, well, I'm responding because we're going to be watching your video, all you have to do is answer the question, right? So when they have their question, you hit reply and you answer the question. That's it. Okay? Yes. Thank you. No problem. Facts. Any other questions? Still missing a good number of the class. They're going to be mad. You do have a question? All right, what is it? Why are they going to be mad? They're going to miss out. Yeah, they're going to miss out on stuff. If you don't know what to do, I mean, this is the second day, and I've got instructions up, I've got the discussion board up, I've got live feeds up, so it's like, hey, if you're not paying attention, if you're not coming, you're going to miss out everything. So I'll be reaching out to people who, I had the majority of my class respond to the discussion board, but then they're not going to come here. Are they going to go back and watch it? If I put the thread up, I don't know. They're going to be mad because they're not going to catch it. So people who are doing pass or fail with a C- in a main course still technically fail the class. Technically. If you do pass fail, right? But here's the thing though, if you're sitting on a C- and that's what you got, your teacher might or probably will be like, we're pass fail now, right? But that's the way it is written. So it is written that way. If you check the email, it does say D- in non-essential courses and C- in essential courses they still count the same way. But your professor might go, oh, well, this is a pass fail. For me, to be honest, if I were you, unless you need the GPA, just stick with the pass fail, be happy. Once again, you got to remember, as I told you, I'm not here to fail you. I'm here to make sure that you keep moving. Okay? To me, is still failing because you don't know the material. Yes. But in this case, failing won't hurt you. That's true. That's true. Very, very true. Won't help or hurt in this case. Nope. I thought it was saved. Oh. It is saved. No. The video is saved, right? But it doesn't mean you're going to come to it. I have an archive for the live feed. It's right here, right? Click on it. There's the last one. Right? It's right there. You can go to it, but will they? Right? If you're already not coming to the class in the first place, are you actually going to go back and look for it? It's just me. It's just what I'm thinking. It's always there. I'm not going to take it away from you. Just like that quiz that's on there. If you don't know the answer, go watch the video. Like I said, it's open book at this point. You don't know that. You know what I mean? It's all based on the videos and all the stuff that we do. So, but I need those quizzes to prove. And here's the thing. I have to prove that you're still working, right? I can't just stop now and be like, oh, we done. Right? Just can't do that. That way I can get mine to the top so people can see my notes and the link. Nope. I mean, you could start a new thread if you wanted to. But I mean, I was going to click on it and open it. I'm going to play the video. I'm going to play the video in here in the next minute or so. So I'm going to be playing the 2 that we have. We only have 2 today. Hopefully next class it'll be better. Oh, 3. We got 3 today. There it is. All right. So, you know, let me go ahead and open this one. New tab. Okay. So we have 3. All we're going to do, we're going to watch them. Like, we're actually going to watch them. But like I said, you can start a new thread if you want to pull it back up to the top. There's a note. You can only choose one of the options, or you can pick the classes you want for your GPA. Yeah, if you don't want to be part of the pass fail, you have to just email your professor. That's it. Tell them you don't want to. You want to be on the traditional grading. You can pick and choose. Yep. I emailed 4 to 6 of my teachers asking for traditional. Yeah. Not gonna stop you. All right. So why don't we just go ahead and do a video. Okay, and then I'm gonna turn up the audio for the video so you can actually hear it. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna stop this. Okay, turn this up. Whoops. Can you give comments on how they did? Yeah. Afterwards, I'm going to respond to it. Absolutely. All right, so we're gonna go to Mr. Lee. Okay, he put his stuff up first. Right, his stuff was there. I saw it first. So we're just going to go ahead and pay attention to him. We're going to go from there. All right?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tian Lee. I'm a sophomore and I major in engineering. Today, I'm going to be explaining to you why I think Michael Jackson is the most influential performer of all time. No, Michael Jackson, he's the king of pop. He's never going to be forgotten. He put out music that spoke to everyone's heart. And music, as we learned in class, you know, it's the best art form of expression. And the music that he gave, like, it spoke to everyone. He had music that was very diverse. It wasn't just the same thing, same topic. What he was talking about was always something different. And it was something that was really important to say to people. You know, the black and white song that he had Beat It. That's a different story, but that's another meaning that he had inside of one of his songs. Michael, he had a Thriller song. He didn't really like horror movies at all, but one of his friends, they influenced him to try it out, and that was a hit that everyone likes. But he has the messages that he gives, like, whenever he performed live, his concerts were always full. They're always full. Even his family, they just loved him so much for like what he was doing as a solo artist instead of being in the Jackson Five. He he came out whenever he performed. It really didn't matter what race or where you came from, because as soon as you stepped in that stage, it, it Michael Jackson's here. It's when you're in his presence, it's like all the problems that you had just goes away, because what he's about to say and the voice and his actions, the way he danced, bro, it was all something new. He did his own thing. He was the dances that he had. It was nothing like that everybody could do. That moonwalk, it's like he's the number one walker. Although he learned that move from someone else. When everyone saw that, he was just known for that moonwalk. And every time he had any songs that came out, people they were always waiting for something new. New Michael Jackson here, new Michael Jackson there. Whenever that song, you already knew it was going to be good. Man, the moment that he died, it was a huge shock in the world. At that time that was about June 2009, so I was about 9 years old at that time, and I was a huge fan of Michael Jackson and my family. Like I had posters in my room. I still have a poster here with Michael Jackson, and my family, they got pictures, big posters in their living room about Michael Jackson. Like when he died, everyone stopped. They stopped their tracks. Like there was traffic. There was traffic in the highways and everything. Everyone, they stopped their cars for him. And if you can stop and look at this video, you can see everyone's reaction to the moment that he died.
Alright, I'm going to stop. Reaction video.
If you wanted any proof that the death of Michael Jackson at 50 is a major international news story, then look no further than Times Square, where I'm now surrounded by people from this city, from all corners of the United States, and indeed holidaymakers here from around the world who have come here to look up at the huge television screens that they have in Times Square, and the news tickers, the famous Dow Jones ticker here, one for ABC News just over here, telling the news that Michael Jackson is dead. The mood is not one of tremendous sadness, but certainly shock. And we went into Times Square earlier today to talk to people to gauge their reaction to Jackson's death, and in some cases to break the news to them.
Just stunned right now. I love Michael Jackson. My condolences to his family.
That's crazy. That's a shame. Such a shame.
All his dance moves, his music, even I still bump his music in the car nowadays. It's a classic. It's something whenever you put it on, you start bopping your head. But damn, it's sad. Damn.
He was such a big impact on my life. His dances, his dance routines, his lyrics were so incredible. He was such a serious act. I truly love Michael Jackson, and it is so sad to see that he is gone. I cannot believe it.
We are from Turkey, and we know him. In our media, he is shown every day, and it's something written about him. And now we heard, and we are sorry for him.
The people of Times Square with their reaction to the passing of Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, of course, leaves behind 3 children whom he had with a surrogate mother. They are Michael Joseph Jr., Paris Michael Catherine, his only girl, and Prince Michael Jackson II. And of course, he's survived as well by his mother and father and 8 siblings. Michael Jackson, then, dead at the age of 50 from cardiac arrest. John Terrett, Al Jazeera, Times Square, New York.
No, stop it. Alright, and we're going to come back.
see there were many different races that spoke about how they felt about him. You know, everyone loved him, and you can see there were so many people at Times Square that came just to see everything that happened. Then they had news. You saw that they had the big screens in New York. The news about Michael Jackson just popped up, and once everyone saw it, it just froze. Everything froze. You know, nowadays, you know, a lot of artists, they come out with music. You know, they have music. You love it, and eventually the hype just goes away. Michael Jackson music, it's been about 10, 11 years since his death, and it's still a big thing. You play a Michael Jackson song, everyone, you know, you still get in that groove, you know. You never forget about Michael Jackson, because he left such a big gap that between like him and other artists, and like how he was so different from everyone, that like even in his death he still remembered. And that's, in my opinion, that's what makes someone a legend. For you to pass on and still be remembered and leave behind stuff that always going to be there. You know, people like music now, you have a song, the hype comes up, and then it just goes away, because I think, in my opinion, like, the songs now are just about the same thing. And if like a new song comes out and it's about the same thing, but it's just a different song, so now everyone is on that new song and forgets about the old one, because like, I have a new song about the same thing. Why would I listen to the old thing if I could listen to the new thing? But you know, back then the music that everyone came out with, it was generic. So that's why now, you know, music back in the old days, you never forget about those songs. Now like, you think about somebody plays a song, you're just like, I forgot about that song. But you say something about Michael Jackson, about a song, you immediately know what song that is, because it's always there with you. You know, Michael Jackson, he left behind such a big legacy, and you know, that's why in my opinion, he's really a big performer that can never be forgotten. And that's why I feel like Michael Jackson is the best performer of all time. Thank you, and have a nice day.
All right. So, all right. So we got through that, right? I think that what was going on with that presentation, I think that the thing that was most important was that there was something to defend, right? I think that Michael Jackson is the most influential artist of all time, right? And I think that was a great statement. It's like, bam, here's my point. You can disagree with me or you can agree with me. The problem with this video or with this presentation was the fact that there wasn't anything concrete, right? It wasn't Michael Jackson outsold every single artist of the time. Michael Jackson is the most sampled musician of all time by this record. Michael Jackson was one of the longest people in the music industry, starting when he was 4 or 6 or whenever he started, you know, going all the way into 50 and never nonstop. He has, you know, there were no facts to prove your point. The only thing that really happened was, hey, this is my opinion. I think that he was great. You kind of just remember it. Life is great. And that was it. you know. And then you did have the end, the one where we were in the middle, and it was like, hey, watch this video, and it was like, look at all these people here, right, and how it touched everyone, and that was great. You needed more of that. More, this is what I'm talking about. This is why he's the most influential. This is how many of our current artists who will say that he's the influence, you know. So I think with the presentation itself, you know, when you were talking, I'm like, all right, that's cool. I see it, especially as someone who likes Michael Jackson. But then if you have someone who doesn't, they're just going to argue and be like, nah, you know, and then just say Prince. And you're like, well, I think this, and you're like, I think that. That's when you have to come up with some type of fact, right? You got to give us something. When you make a statement like that, you got to give us something that we then go, oh, okay, I see what you mean, okay? But all in all, I think that it was a good presentation. You know, it was straightforward. I think if you had more facts behind it, you would actually be able to prove your point, okay? All right. Let's see. I'm going to go to this one. All right, I'm going to turn it up. All right. Do you want to see the notes? I guess we should look at the notes real fast. Okay. Introduction, supplies, meat thermometer, wick center, wicks, oil measure glass, soy wax, wax melting, hand poured versus machine, temperature, utensils, meltdown, pouring, hand pouring versus machine, collapsing, fragrance, oil effects, warm throw, cold throw, candle scents. Okay? How about I do another, since today wasn't the day I go. If you want to, you are more than welcome to do that. Okay? If you want to, you're more than welcome to do that. I will gladly accept that. Okay? But I want to say thank you that you had something there, because it would have been really short if we didn't. All right, so I read through the notes. The notes are there in the discussion board if you want to look at them. Whoop, that's the wrong one. Okay, I'm going to go here. And, oh, not trying to send it to my TV. I'm sure my kids would be freaked out by that if I did.
Hi, my name is Namani Pugh, and my presentation is on hand-poured candles and the art form behind the process of making hand-poured candles and every step that goes into doing so. Also wanted to talk about how the capabilities are different when it comes to hand-pouring them compared to a machine just making all of them together, and how the outcome varies between the machine making them and the hand-poured candles making them on your own. So first I wanted to actually just show you all the supplies that it takes to make hand-poured candles compared to what a machine would actually use, because everything has to be able to fit in my hand. So one thing I do use is this here, and this is actually really a meat thermometer, but I use it to tell me the temperature of my wax after I melt it, because wax has to be poured at a certain temperature and cooled at a certain temperature in order for things to come out the way I want them to, and the way they probably work the best compared to the way a machine would actually make them. Machines, they use thermometers, but it's usually like a big bucket in a way, and the thermometers connect to the bucket and they pour at different temperatures. But when you do it by hand, you have more control, and you can see what the outcome is a lot better. So I use this here for temperature. This is a wick center, which it goes on top of the jar like this. So these sides will sit on the edges of the jar. And here's the wick. I have a couple actually I have to show you. So these are the wicks. They go in to the bottom of the jars. So you can hot glue it, or some people use wick tabs that they stick to the bottom, and it sticks the wick to the bottom. But if you was to put it through here, this is what it would look like. You would put it through here, and if it was inside of the jar, and this will actually hold the wick in place. And this is important because wicks are coated in wax. So when wax is really, really hot, if you don't have something that holds the wick will actually start to bend inside the jar. And when the wick is done inside of the jar with the wax and the candle is completely hardened, the wick will actually be inside of the jar like this. You won't be able to light it because it collapsed. So this makes sure that the wick doesn't go anywhere, the wick stays where it is so you can actually light your candle. This here is my measuring cup that I use only for oils. I do have a measuring cup for wax too, but this was my smaller one. And this is where I pour into my oils, so I measure everything out. I usually use this side here. With the machine also measures it out, but it's in a very, very, very larger quantity. And when things are in larger quantities, you can't really keep track of it and watch over it and correct the mistakes as soon as they happen because everything is such large quantities and everything is basically to a setting. So this is my oil container. I have a couple of these, but this is one I'm going to show you. Always make sure they're glass. So another thing here is my oil. This is one of my oils. This is one of my bigger containers. So I make sure that I smell everything before it goes into the candles, and I make sure it smells the way I want it to smell. And that's how I came up with the names also. Make sure everything is the way I want it to be. So, and here is what soy wax looks like. So this is loose soy wax. As you can see, they're in like little chips. Let's see. So this is what I use. I melt this down. So this is 100% soy wax. It is a natural wax. It is vegan free. Well, not, what is the word? Vegan friendly. That's the word. There's no chemicals. There's no harsh smells. Even if you was to blow the can out, there's no harsh smells. So this is a good wax. This is the wax that is used for hand poured candles that I specifically gravitate towards. So we're going to start with the process of wax melting. So the process of wax melting compared from hand poured candles and the process of machine poured candles. So with hand poured candles, you have a metal tin that you boil over water. So 1 cup of the soy wax equals to 9 ounces. So everything melts down to a half. So what I mean by that is if I put 2 cups of wax into the container, it melts down to 1 cup. So everything goes down to about 50%. So the good thing is when you are doing hand poured candles is that you can really, really see when the wax is finished melting. You have a lot of control over that. With the machine poured candles, once it melts, it goes straight into the jar. So what I do, the difference is that when you're hand pouring candles, we get to pour them at a very, very lower temperature, which makes the top of the candle harden a lot smoother. And there's something called a cold throw and a warm throw. So a cold throw is what the candle smells like when it's not lit. Basically, I make sure that you can be able to smell the candle even when it's not lit. When you pour candles over 100 degrees, it tampers with the cold throw, because what happens is fragrance oil will evaporate over 100 degrees. But a lot of machine candles are pouring over 100 degrees because that's a good temperature to do high production, which is understandable and it makes sense, but it kind of messes with the way the candle smells. So it's a lot of numbers and science behind it to make sure it's right. Also, besides the smell of the candle, when you pour the wax in over 80 degrees, it will actually begin to collapse in the middle. I can actually show you one. I have a couple here. So this is one here. Here's another one. I'm gonna just take some tops off. So this one here also, so you see, this is my sweet cedar candle. All my lids are black. Here is a pumpkin pie candle, but I'll show you all of them soon. But I just wanted to show you how smooth it is on the top. You see that? So if I was to pour my candles over 80 degrees, I kind of stay in between 65 and 70. The inside of my candle wouldn't be this smooth. It's a very good finish, but it would almost be like this, like a curve. That's because you pour them too hot, and a lot of machines do that, because it's not much control when you're making candles in high quantities. Since I do hand pour my candles, I get to make them in smaller quantities so I can watch over them. So another thing I would like to go over is the fragrance oils. So I did say that the fragrance oils, when you pour them in, if you pour them in too hot, they will evaporate. So not only does that make it hard to smell when it's not lit, it also completely changes the smell. So a lot of candles, they smelled differently before they were poured, and that affects the way they come out. Another thing also, here is a 22-ounce candle, which is a cleaning day candle. This candle is a citrus, cucumber, and basil candle, which I was inspired by cleaning products. So this is how I came up with this candle. Which you can smell this. But this is how I came up with this candle. And this is a 3-wick candle. As you can see, it's a little bit, this is a different type of glass than my 9-ounce candles. But there is a clean finish, even with the 3 wicks. I did pour these at 70 degrees. With machines, they would have been poured at about 100 and 120 degrees because of the size. And it would have tampered with how they smelled. This here, I can show you another one. This is called Sandalwood Noir. This is actually a set. If I can turn and Sweet Cedar. So these two are kind of like a pair. These kind of smell like cologne. So I make sure that I pick very unique scents for my candles, which I am satisfied with. They came out very, very, very well. They smell really good. And so the biggest difference I would say, and why I will probably always hand pour my candles, because I get to physically watch the process. Another thing with machine poured candles, once they are poured into the jars, they are hardened immediately. So they will go into almost like a cooling area, and they are hardened as soon as it happens. So that affects the smell too, because you know when you switch temperatures of something too quickly, it will affect the outcome. If something doesn't naturally take its process to get to where it needs to be, then it will affect this outcome. With hand poured candles, I get to completely control that. And that's why I will always make note of how I will look at it as an art form, is because no matter how you do it, everyone's outcome is different when it comes to hand pouring candles. Everyone's outcome is different. So I found my rotation to it, and I found the way I would like it to be, and this is how all of this came about. And I will always stick to hand pouring my candles. I get to see more of a result. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. My name is Namani Pugh again, and my presentation was on the art form behind hand poured candles. Thank you.
Come on. Okay. So that was great. You know, that was really good demonstration. I'm sure it would have worked really well if we could smell it. So that's good. But I mean, to be honest, I think that really nailed it. I think that if you wanted to, you could have actually commented a little bit more on how the art form works. Like, you told us about the creation of the candle, which was great, which makes me want to just go and get handmade candles, because if you're going to put that much time in it to make it nice and smooth, I want a handmade candle, right? But to really get into the art form, you know, like, oh, well, at this part when we're watching, it's a type of finesse, you know, there is no, it's over in 10 minutes and then you pull it out and then it's done. Or, you know, it's like sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's 5. Like, you really got to look at it, you know, move it around, look, I don't know, whatever you would do. Just like as an art, you know, like an artist, like sometimes, you know, I know that line has to go there, but then I didn't, right? It had to be over here, or it looks right, but it isn't. You know, it's like, it should be right because I did it right mathematically and all this stuff, but it's not. You know, so just a little bit pushing towards the art form a little bit more would have made this even stronger. But I mean, that we're nitpicking at this point. Okay, that was a really nice presentation over why I think hand pour was better than machine made candles, right? And so, like I said, it was a great presentation. You did a real good job with that. I think if you pushed it just a little bit more towards what the art form actually was, it would have made it even stronger. But besides that, good job. Very good job. They look like they smell great. Yep. Mr. Lee, do you really want me to tell you about your grade to the class? Is that something you really want me to do? Let's just put it like this. I'll put it like this. You can, because you guys can take this however you want. That was a very average presentation. Okay? You're focused on trying to make sense. You did a great job. You did a great job. I'm not even going to lie. It was a good job. I just think that if you push, like I said, since you were talking about the art form, like candle making is an art form, you needed to give us a little bit more of the art form. Okay? But I know the process of how to make a candle. Yep. No, your presentation was great. Okay. Who? Khalili? No, who? I was talking to Mr. Lee if he wanted his grade. So, do we ask questions on Blackboard? Yes, on the discussion board. On the discussion board. All right, last one. 9 ounce, 14. Okay, look at it. Look at you trying to like entrepreneur your way into this class. Trying to make some money in this pandemic. It was an amazing presentation, though. It was great. It was great. All right, last one. Okay, last one today. Unless something popped up. Let me see. Unless something else popped up. Okay. All right, last one then. Here we go. So, here we go.
Hello everybody, my name is Shavon Spencer, and for my presentation, I will be explaining why I believe that shoes are a form of art. We all know that art is a form of communication, and people use art to express themselves. But what people don't realize is that we can use clothes, jewelry, and shoes and other things to help express ourselves as well. Through the years, I've always looked at shoes as being the best part of an outfit. Might sound crazy, but I believe that you can predict people's personalities and style of what they're wearing on their feet and how they choose to wear those. One reason why I believe that sneakers are a form of art is through the people who created and designed the sneakers. Some sneaker designers use their talents and ideas to tell stories about their lives, their careers, or their inspirations that led to those designs. Designers might use colors, patterns, logos, and materials to represent their moments and inspirations in order to tell stories. Now I'm going to show you some examples and some sneakers from my personal collection that can help me explain of what I'm trying to say. My first example would be the Nike Air Max. The Nike Air Max was created in 1987 by Nike brand. The Air Max wasn't the first sneaker created by Nike, but was the first to make a great impact. Tinker Hatfield was the creator and was named father of the Nike Air Max. Tinker started off as an architect in college, then later became a sneaker designer after he was discovered by Nike. In 1987, Tinker designed the first Nike Air Max. The sneaker was inspired by the Pompidou Center building in Paris, France. He used the structure of the building to give him ideas to form the structure of the Air Max. Tinker also used the windows to give him ideas of the Nike Air Bubble in the midsole of the Nike Air Max as well. One of my sneakers from my collection is the Nike Air Max 2. This sneaker was a collab between Nike and Atmos, which is a Japanese-based brand. This sneaker was inspired by vintage Nike apparel from the late 80s and early 90s. My next shoe is the Van. The Van started off as a rubber making company in 1966 in California. It wasn't until Paul Van Duran was inspired to make sneakers for kids through the neighborhood. In the 1970s, kids started the skateboarding wave all through California. This led to many people buying Vans to skate in because of the rubber grip soles. Vans made kids more comfortable to express themselves through fashion, with Vans providing shoes with variety of colors, shapes, patterns, and etc. This particular Van is known as the Yacht Club. This sneaker was dedicated to a social member group that participates in yacht racing events. The color combination on this shoe is meant to give off a beach-like vibe using blue, green, yellow, red, and white colors. Now I'm going to talk about one of my favorite sneakers, the Jordan 11. The Jordan 11 was created by Tinker Hatfield and assisted ideas by Michael Jordan himself. The Jordan 11 was made and released in 1996, which was set out to be Michael Jordan's best season. When the ideas first started, Tinker wanted the Jordan 11 to look like a convertible to represent Michael's luxury cars. But Michael wanted a different vision. Jordan wanted a sneaker that he could wear comfortably on the court and wear with a suit or a tux. This idea led to the shiny patent leather on the uppers to give off a dress-up-like vibe. The Jordan 11 reminded Michael of his prime days in high school. Mostly all Michael Jordan sneakers are dedicated to each year of his NBA career. Starting from 1 to 23, the Jordan 11 was the changing point of people wearing basketball sneakers with suits and off the court. This Jordan 11 is known as the Jordan 11 Bread. The word bread being a mixture of colors black and red. This sneaker is dedicated to Michael's team colors, the Chicago Bulls, and was released when the Chicago Bulls made the NBA playoffs and set a record for winning 72 games in a season. Please click the link below to see more information about the Jordan 11. As you can see, sneakers have a meaning behind them and also have a story to tell. I personally think that artists' whole purpose of creating artwork is to tell stories. This has been my presentation. Thank you for your patience, and I hope you enjoyed it.
All right, so let's just put it on something again.
His friends.
Just leave it there. Leave it on a pair of shoes. So with this presentation, you were showing us. Let me make sure I'm on still. Yeah, okay. So with this presentation, what you're doing was you were showing us about these shoes, right, and what they represented and stuff like that. And that's great. And I really think that the first designer, when you're like, oh, he pulled inspiration from here to make this, and this created that, like that was really pushing on an art, that what we do for art. And I think that if you are also able to work around the idea of how we use shoes to do something like you mentioned at the beginning, we use it to express ourselves and stuff like that. I think you could have pushed just a little bit more on the art form. Like you showed us a sketch of the design work that went into shoes. Like if you gave us a little bit more of that and said, these are all the designs that go into making shoes, and here's how it's a collaboration and it's a group project and all these kind of things that really pull into art, that would have been better. Okay? Not saying that you did bad, although the very first part you should have filmed in one shot. To be honest, like you should have just watched it. Should have just kind of memorized it, because those constant cuts where it's like, it's like I'm here, Like those, you really should have just worked on memorizing that one shot, right? But all that said, not bad. The problem is, and this is a big one, it's only 6 minutes long. That's the problem. I've shrunk your presentation down to 10 minutes. It's a minimum of 10 minutes. You have to hit 10 minutes. Okay? Have to hit 10 minutes. That was the deal, right? We were sitting at 6:09, and technically with your very nice intro, you're less than 6 minutes for your presentation. Okay? Now here's the thing. I'm letting Mr. Lee, he wants to redo his. Because you were the first, you were having problems, life was hard. I get it. If you want, you can redo yours as well. Okay? I thought he said there was a link below. Or are we supposed to? Oh, is that
every shoe, every sneaker?
Hold on. Got you. Okay, is that what you're trying to do? All right. So you wanted us to learn more about this. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll watch that. Hold on. My bad. I mean, I saw that, but I didn't.
Sneaker has a story of how it came to be, its design inspiration. For this story, we're going to take a look at this shoe, the Air Jordan 11. Design and technology are key components when it comes to a performance sneaker, particularly with a basketball sneaker. With the Air Jordan 11, we see one of those rare moments when the two intersect and create a moment that changes the way sneakers are made from that moment on. Starting with the design of the shoe, Tinker Hatfield, the designer of the Jordan 11, actually designed the shoe in secret. Nike at the time wasn't sure that Mike would be returning and thought the Jordan line would be over. Despite this, Tinker Hatfield pushed ahead in secret and designed the shoe anyway. One of the key components of the Air Jordan 11 is the patent leather, which is this material right here. Tinker Hatfield happened to be watching footage of Michael playing when he was designing the shoe and noticed that when Michael would change directions dramatically, that his foot would roll over the outsole or roll over the top of the shoe. The solution to that was to add patent leather. It was stronger and it could withstand the force of the change. Often called the mudguard, the patent leather rand actually served two purposes. Tinker wanted to create something that looked good both on and off the court for Mike. And rumor has it that Mike wanted something that he could wear with a suit, and the patent leather fit the bill. However, patent leather wasn't the only big technological innovation on the shoe. Carbon fiber was the next big step when it came to technology inside of the Air Jordan 11. Tinker Hatfield used it for the shank plate. Prior to that, the shank plate had been made out of plastics and other things like that were strong, but they were definitely heavy. Tinker Hatfield wanted to make the shoe lighter, faster, and stronger, and that's what brought him to the material. That brings us to the upper of the shoe. A new nylon ballistic mesh was added to lead up to the padded collar. Called Cordura nylon, or sometimes referred to as Cordura mesh, the material is ultra lightweight and manages to maintain its strength despite its elasticity. Tinker also included a webbing around the midfoot that adheres to the shape of your foot. It works with your foot to keep you locked in, and combined with the Cordura nylon was a perfect solution. Jordan introed the Air Jordan 11 in the Concord colorway in the playoffs in 1995. It didn't exactly match the color of their jerseys or the shoes that the rest of the team was wearing, so MJ was fined for 2 games for wearing the shoe. MJ stopped wearing the shoe, but Nike provided him with the Space Jam colorway, which is the same colorway that he wore in the movie Space Jam. When the shoes finally went on sale later that year, kids were lined up down the block to grab themselves a pair. Tinker Hatfield has since called the Air Jordan 11 one of his favorite designs he's ever done. For MJ, well, the sentiment is pretty much the same. That season, the Bulls went 72-10. And not only did he win MVP, he won MVP of the regular season, MVP of the All-Star game, as well as MVP of the finals. And to top it all off, MJ and his team won their 4th NBA championship. Patent leather, Cordura nylon, carbon fiber, the design mind of Tinker Hatfield, the game of MJ. Those are the things that make this such a cool shoe. I am your host, Jacques Slade, and that is the story of the Air Jordan 11. Peace.
All right. So that's your 3 minutes and 12. You're still short. There was a video. I think that really adds a lot to it. Like what he was saying, all that kind of stuff really helps. Okay? really helps. I think that you can, once again, just like with Naomi's candle making, if you just pushed a little bit more onto the art, it would have been a stronger presentation. I really think that you should get that first part, that first minute and a half in one shot. Okay? This one makes you a lot closer to 10 minutes, but you're still short. Okay? Yeah, just excuse me, just know that you're still short. Still short. You got to make it to that 10. So you need to add at least another minute. Okay? And then possibly tell us where it is. You know what I mean? So that way we can actually just zoom right to it and watch that 1 minute and give you credit. Okay? My bad. Might be coming through wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not trying to screw your name up. I'm sorry. Because I can say it. See, it's a Moni. Got it. Like I said, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. But yeah, presentation was decent, right? It was pretty good. Need to harp on that 10 minutes and on the art form, okay? Mr. Lee, you got a C. Right? It's a very average presentation you did. So you got a C, okay? Did you put yours up? Presentation, okay, we got that one. What did his? Say, did I miss one? No. Right, that's all we have right now. Oh, wait, presentation. Who are my 5 people? Yep. Taylor, were you able to get it to work, or are we still trying to get it up? As we wait. But, so we had those 3. You have an idea now, right? Really try and defend your video. Anyone who's went first and would like to do theirs again, you're more than welcome to do so. I will gladly re-accept the first 3 people who went if they want to present another their video again, right? We can do that. But that's completely up to you. If you didn't make the mark, you got to make 10 minutes. Okay? That's the thing. Got to hit 10 minutes. Very, very important. 10 minutes. Okay? So if you're looking at your video and your content and you don't hit 10 minutes, got to get to 10 minutes. It's like the biggest qualifier of the entire thing. You got to hit 10 minutes. Okay? Are there any questions? Thoughts? Comments? Concerns? So to be good for attendance, we need 1 comment and 1 question per video that was done. So per presentation. Okay? Yep, per video. If there are 3, you have to respond to each one, and they are on the discussion board. You're just going to have to look for them, okay? 2 of them say presentation. The other one you got to scroll down. Unless she decides to put that video, create a new thread and put that that thread under presentation video. Wink, wink. Nod, nod. Nudge, nudge. You should probably put a new thread called presentation video so that it's up to the top and so people can see it. Yep, I'm gonna redo it anyway. I want it to be better. Okay. So I'm gonna list 5 other people. Okay, if the other people who want to go, if the other people are like, I want to go, it'll be on top, so we'll just watch it again. Okay, so we might have a little bit longer of a class, but it wouldn't take too long because there shouldn't be any instruction needing to be given anymore, right? So that way we can just start from right away and we can get more presentations in one day. So there you go. Okay, so if you don't have any more questions, if you don't, you got nothing to say, I will, like I said, I'll log off and then I'll start another thread and it'll say the next 5 people presenting, so you know who you are. If you were supposed to go and you did not, I'm going to assume you had some issues, and then I'll put you on for the next list, okay? Sound good? And, just in case you didn't know, like, our thing is really tight, okay? Are you erasing all the unnecessary spell check? Yeah. All the attendance ones were there when they could have just responded to mine, where it's just like, hey, I'm here. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of those. Because it's just attendance. I'm going to mark everybody off who was here, and then I'm going to take those off. Unless there was something in there, right, that we needed to keep. But what I wanted to tell you is that our semester is over, so your last class is on the 29th of this month. Okay, so no, your attendance will be marked by commenting and asking the question. Creating the thread, you only have to create a thread when it's your time to do the presentation. To comment, what? To comment on the discussion board, we just press reply. Yep, just press reply. Okay, answered that one already. Click the person you want to reply to and hit reply. Yep. Alright, so you have, just so you guys know, there's 4 weeks left in the semester. I mean, you still have the rest of this week, so 4.5 weeks. But you've got 4 weeks left of the semester. The semester's over. Commencement was supposed to happen on the 2nd. Or at least that's what this said. Where is it? Spring semester for 2020. Commencement, May 2nd. Okay? Which means classes end 24th. Exam week is the 25th through the 1st. Right? So that means that your class is over on the 29th. You've got 4.5 weeks left. Okay? Just so you know, it's almost over. And then hopefully by the fall, everything will be hunky-dory and we'll move on from there. All right. Last chance. Any questions before we sign off? I know there's lag. Laggity lag. Nope. Nope, we good? No one's responding. So I'm assuming that you guys are all good. And you're ready to go. Like I said, you guys have seen it now. Seen what the bar was. You get to remake your video or not. You can keep it the way it is, or you can just go forward with how you're going to do it. But I will be putting up names for next class. I'm also going to check, because it might go from 5 to 6, just to make sure that we can finish within the 4 weeks that we have left. Okay? So, once again, if you don't have anything, no pressing questions, then I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And then, remember, you got to post in the discussion board. If you want to get attendance for today, you have to respond with a comment and a question for every presenter. Okay? Also, don't forget to take the quiz. You need to take the quiz by tonight. All right? It closes tonight. Okay? Kind of just like class, but you got all night to do it, and it's open book. So, it should only take you like a minute or two. All right? All right. Well, I'll see you guys. Have a great week. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And I'll see you guys next week.